Welcome to the Get Empowered podcast. Your host, Erica, here. And this week, we are going to be talking about my engagement story. This past weekend, I got engaged to the love of my life. And honestly, that's all that's on my mind right now. I can't talk about anything fucking else. So I wanted to share this moment with you. Maybe if you're on the YouTube, you can see the ring. He did very good. It's stunning. And I cannot stop looking at my hand. So let's dive in. Welcome to the Get Empowered podcast. My name is Erica Vishkalis, and I am a mindset mentor, personal development junkie, holistic health advocate, and lover of all things spiritual. At the Get Empowered podcast, I'm here to help you overcome limitations, step into your power, and create your dream life. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you're looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and to become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story, to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Welcome to the Get Empowered podcast. Your host, Erica, here. And as you saw by the title and in the intro, I got engaged on 11/11/2023, which apparently my boyfriend did not do on purpose, which is kind of wild to me since I'm so into numerology. But I manifested this shit, baby. So that's what we were talking about this week. But to start, what am I grateful for? So obviously grateful for Kyle, but again, that's going to be the whole episode. So let's switch it up. I just got to say, I'm so grateful for the community of people I have around me, his friends and family, my friends and family. Everyone has been so supportive and so kind and so loving ever since we announced the engagement. And it's just huge. It's a huge moment for me. I will get into that when we start talking about the episode. But I'm just so grateful for everyone that we have in our corner, everyone that's already being so supportive, so kind, so loving. It's just meant the world to me already. I love you all so incredibly much. And I'm just so grateful for you guys. So, you guys, our friends, our family, this whole community we have at the Get Empowered podcast, it's incredible. I am so, so, so grateful. Now, what am I currently loving? Well, obviously, this fucking ring on my hand. We're not going that crazy, guys. This ring on my hand, that's what I'm loving. I'm also loving that I had my nails done for it. I did them myself. Pretty proud. I do the Beatles gel. I use Beatles gel and then I use their acrylic tips. And I think I finally got a system down where it lasts me like 2.5, 3 weeks. So I was very happy that I had just done my nails because I am anal. It was actually very funny. I had a friend who, when I sent her the picture, I was like, oh my gosh, guess what happened? She's like, there's no way you didn't know. Your nails were like perfect for a hike. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I've been keeping my nails nice for a while now because I kind of thought that maybe it was going to be happening in the next couple months. And I know some people don't care, and I don't judge you if you don't care, but I was like, over my dead fucking body, will my nails look like shit when I get engaged? Absolutely not. I'm a girly where, like, if my nails are done, I feel very good about myself. So that was a must. And I actually, it's so funny. Kyle's like weirdly opinionated about my nail color. It really makes me laugh. And red is not his favorite, but red is my favorite. So the fact that he proposed when my nails were a classic red, I love it. I'm very, very thankful for it. So what do we talk about? I want to share with you the proposal, things that happened since, how it was really a big moment for me. I think it's a big moment for everyone, but it just like, it touched me so much to my core for so many reasons. And I just really want to share with you guys the experience. So this is a little bit different. There's probably not going to be some big, huge lesson, but I do want to share some tips towards the end of things I've already learned, things I'm probably going to be doing moving forward. And of course, if you've been married recently, engaged recently, please send me all of your tips along the way because your girl is going to need them. I'm already overwhelmed. We've literally not been engaged a week, and I am still like, I'm already kind of stressed about the wedding planning portion of it, which I hate. Like, the wedding industry is fucking psycho, but I want, like, as of now, I think I want a traditional wedding in a way. Like, I want a venue, I want a reception, I want to be walked down the aisle. I might change my mind. I might change my mind, but as of now, that's what I want. And let me tell you, finding places is fucking crazy. It's a lot. So, back the story up. Let's start from the beginning. I feel like when Kyle and I first started dating just about 2.5 years ago, I really knew he was it. Like almost from the get go. Like from the get go, it was different. He jokes that he stopped liking me and started loving me like day three. And honestly, this might sound so fucking corny to you guys, but I am a firm believer of when you know, you know. Like, firm believer. So I guess that's one of the things I was going to say I've learned post engagement. You're just getting it at the beginning. I really think when you know, you know. I knew from the beginning this relationship was different. I know we're not married yet, but like, I cannot wait. I cannot imagine being with anyone else. Like, absolutely not. He is just like my rock, and I love him so incredibly much. And I'm so grateful for him. And if you haven't checked out the episode we did together, I might have to get him on here again and like maybe talk about his perspective. It would be really fun to do. But I knew from the beginning it was different. We've been talking marriage for quite some time. And actually, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but we did go and look at engagement rings together a couple of times now. And he was like, I don't want you to have any clue. You are literally going to be so surprised. You're going to have no idea. And that was super important to him. And he was right. I had no clue. I was super surprised when it happened. And honestly, I'm so thankful for that. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, to start, let's set the scene. Let's set the scene. Kyle and I have been talking marriage for quite some time. We knew we wanted to be married. We knew we wanted to get engaged. And I, for whatever reason, there are a handful of reasons, but at the end of the day, they were all somewhat arbitrary reasons, if I'm just being honest. I really wanted to be engaged by the time I'm 30. I turned 30 on December 12th. So it's coming up here soon, like less than a month at this point. And I really wanted to be engaged before I was 30. Why? Well, part of me, if I'm just being really honest with myself, I do feel a little behind in life. And so I was like, no, like I'm with the person I care about. Like, I think we should get engaged before my 30th birthday. Like, in theory, we want kids. We don't know how hard that process is going to be. Like, we kind of need to get the ball rolling if that's something we want to do. So, I was really, really excited to that he was on the same page. Now, it was not, I will say, it was not an ultimatum. I was not like, Kyle, if you do not propose by my birthday, we are done. I never said that. It was just like my preference. Okay. So then in October of last year, so 2022, we had went and looked at rings. And I really think that was just like the how much is this shit going to cost me time. And we were there a really long time. We were there like 2-3 hours. We tried on tons of different stuff, figured out the shape I like, figured out my size, figured out the carats. He got me a 2 carat diamond. I think it's a lab diamond. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't asked, but like when we looked at rings, we talked about a lab diamond. So I'm just assuming it's lab because like, why not? Better ethically and like half the cost. But anywho, so he got me a round 2.01, I guess, carat ring with just like a solid gold band. I didn't want anything on the band. So it's just the round stone, and it is a beautiful round stone, let me tell you. Holy shit. I looked down at my hand, I'm like, that is a fucking rock, and I cannot believe it. Now, this is where the first kind of lesson came in, though, because when we went through that process of looking at rings, I did not feel good enough. I did not feel good enough to ask for something like that. I just knew it was my style. Like, I knew I wanted one solitaire stone, and I knew that, like, not that it needed to be massive, but I was like, well, if it's one stone, I kind of want it to be on the bigger side because, like, it just looks more normal that way. I don't know. For me, like, that's what fit my hand. Like, we looked at a lot of different carat sizes, and like 1.5 to 2 was like perfect. And I was like, 1.5 to 2, I would be obsessed with, but whatever. It's your decision. It's your money. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but like, this is what I love. And when we went through that process, like, I had so much insecurity, even like talking to the people at the store about what I like. And Kyle was like so kind, so supportive. He's like, babe, I'm only giving you one. I mean, he said from the get go, he's like, you're not getting upgraded. So just tell me what you want now. so I can just get it now. Okay. Like, we are not doing the ring upgrade in 10 years. You are getting one ring and that is it, which I love. Honestly, I love this ring. I don't think I would ever want to trade it in. I think that's wild. No offense if you've done it. I just am like, no, this is so sentimental to me. Absolutely not. And it's stunning. When we went ring shopping, it brought up so many insecurities. I did not feel good enough. I was like, how am I worthy of this really expensive gift? Like, let's just be honest. Like, engagement rings are not cheap. So I was like, fuck. I felt bad even just saying what I liked, right? And this is where I knew Kyle was like, not where I knew Kyle was the one, but just it reaffirmed that Kyle was the one, because he just was so kind and was like, no, I care about you. I want you to get something you like. I want you to love it, not just like it. So please just like look at everything. Tell me what you want. Like, I want full transparency, full honesty. And so I did that. And that process was amazing. But let me tell you, for the past year, I kind of knew it wouldn't happen right away. But really, the past 6 months, I'm like, when is this happening? Is this happening soon? Is this not happening soon? Because again, he did not want me to know. And when we did talk about like a proposal and an ideal proposal, and I just told him I really wanted photo and such or video evidence. Like, I wanted to see photos of it. I wanted a video of it if possible. And I gave him a couple different ideas, but I was like, I just want you to put some thought into it. It doesn't need to be this insane grand gesture. It doesn't need to be like big signs or balloons or anything. Not that I'm judging that, but like, I didn't care about that. I was like, I just want you to be intentional with it. I don't want it to just be like one day randomly after work, here you go. Like, I really wanted some thought. And he's not a planner, so I knew that that stressed him out. Like, the amount of times he's like, I just have to plan. Like, I can't plan. And that would stress him out. And so I was like, babe, keep it simple. Think about us, keep it us. But like, yes, I do want you to think about it and to plan. Like, I want you to have a plan. And so, ever since then, I just have been kind of on edge. Like, is it happening? And to be honest, like the week before this happened, like he was saying stuff that made me think it wasn't going to happen by my birthday. And I guess it was funny. Right after he proposed, he was like, I'm so sorry, I've been kind of a jerk. I just didn't want you to think that it was happening. Like, I needed to act how I normally was, which was you thinking that it was not happening anytime soon. And I knew that stressed you out and I knew it made you sad. And I'm sorry, but like, I didn't want you to know. So now cutting to the proposal. This past weekend, we went camping with one of his best friends and one of his best friend's new girlfriends. And she's lovely. They're awesome people. And I don't know. I don't know if this was something that was planned solely for the engagement or if we were going to do it anyways. And then he was like, do y'all mind if I propose while we're on this trip? Because probably about 2 months ago ish, maybe, we were like, hey, we should go camping together. This would be a lot of fun. And so we went somewhere down near Tucson, like an hour outside the city into the woods, and it's beautiful. And so we get to camp, and looking back, the signs were there, but like, I was not thinking proposal at all. Like, no part of me thought the proposal was happening at all. This ring did not think it was going to be happening at that time, because Kyle was like, I would never do it on a trip. That's way too obvious. I would never do this, never do that, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, noted, good to know. So he lied, obviously. He lied, obviously, which is fine. I'm glad I was surprised. But essentially then we were like looking at different things, looking at we got to the campsite, we said hi, our puppy tried to run away, and so then we had to go get her, so that was like very stressful and I cried. But then we were like hanging out for a while, and it was probably around like 4 o'clock. I don't know, I'm sure I could go back and look at the photos, but his friend was like, hey, oh well, let me back up. When we first get there, him and his friend go for a walk, and I thought that was a little weird, but I was like, oh, maybe they just want some time together. Like, they want to catch up. I was thinking, oh, Kyle wants to hear about the new girlfriend. I was not thinking anything at all. And I guess they were like scouting spots to propose slash looking for firewood. I do think they were genuinely looking for firewood, but he was like, no, we were looking for places to propose because they had never been to that specific campsite before. We were trying to go to another one, but someone took it. So then we just ended up at a different one. It was very pretty. It was in the middle of the woods, whatever. And so they come back. We're all just hanging out. And then they're like, oh, we should go for a walk, like maybe get the dog's energy out. And this was around golden hour, like 4:30. And his friend Caleb took his like grabbed his camera, and I was like, oh, that's a little weird. Like, why does he need his camera? But then I was like, you know what? Like, he takes a lot of adventure photos. He's not a photographer, but he can take really nice photos on the side. Like, he does that just in his own free time. And so I was like, well, I've never been camping with him. Maybe this is just what he does. Maybe he just takes, I mean, I guess it would make sense that he would take his camera with him to get like the cool adventure shots, you know? So we walk up this little hill right by our campsite, and we get to the top, and it's very pretty. Um, and he was like, oh, Kristen, who is like current girlfriend, he's like, oh, do you mind if I like take a couple pictures? I just want to check the settings. And we're like, oh, again, I thought it was weird, but I also didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, maybe this is just what he does. I don't know. I was a little distracted because, like, I had the dogs with me. The puppy was like pulling me all over the place. It was a whole fucking thing. And now I know, no, he was checking the camera settings because he knew what was about to happen. And so I guess where we were originally, he passed by Kyle and he's like, this spot is not going to work. We need to go somewhere else because of the lighting. It was too, like, I think it was too harsh there. And so then we go up the hill a little bit more, and his friend and his girlfriend were like, hey, like, do you guys mind taking a photo of us? We really don't have a ton. And we're like, absolutely. So I get behind the camera, I take a couple of photos, I take a couple on the phone. And then I was like, oh, Kyle, babe, we should ask them to take one of us. He's like, yeah, of course we will. Don't worry. And I was like, okay. And he seemed a little stressed. And I was like, why? Like, is he being weird? And now I know because he was about to fucking propose, right? But anywho, so we do the whole switch spots. They take a couple of photos. And it was funny because Kyle, I guess, like, they had this whole plan. Like, the three of them all were in the boat together. They all knew what was going to happen. She was taking some photos on my iPhone. He was taking photos on his camera. And then it was funny because he didn't do it right away. And they were like, what the fuck is going on? Is he changing his mind? Like, what is happening? And I guess he was like, well, I know. Later, he told us, he's like, I know Erica. She always has you take a couple photos. She looks at them and then she wants to fix something and wants more, which he's not wrong. I'm always that way. I'm like, can I fix my hair, my shirt, like whatever, maybe switch sides, like which side is my good side? I don't know. And so then we go and take a couple more. And as I'm turning to walk away, like after, he like pulls a box out of his pants pocket. And I was like, I think I said this out loud. I would have to check the video, but I was like, oh fuck, it's happening. And he's like, well, babe, it's happening. And he like said all these like such kind things. He instantly started crying. He would hate that I told you all this, but it's so fucking cute that he was so emotional that he started crying. And I'm sorry, I just like keep looking at my hand in the camera. It's just fucking wild to me. Anywho, it's so cute that he kept like, he was emotional the whole time. And he's like, I can't believe I'm crying. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Like, it feels like it's a public thing, even though, I mean, it was, I guess, because we had his best friend there and his new girlfriend there. But also, it's your best friend. Like, it's not a big deal. It's your best friend. It's me. And I was like, babe, don't be nervous. Like, you know what I'm going to say. He's like, so are you going to ask her or am I? I'm like, no, no, no. You have to ask. Like, it was so cute. It was kind of a ramble, but it was so us. It was so perfect. The dogs were right there because they were like, oh, do you want the dogs in the picture? And I was like, sure. And so we had all the dogs sit, and it's so funny. Hunter sat the whole time. Now his back was to the camera. I don't know why, but he's like, I'm looking over here, fuckers. But the dogs were in the photos. There's like a really cute photo. I'll see if I can insert it in the YouTube of like one of our dogs looking up at me when Kyle is on his knee giving me the ring, being like, Mommy, what are you going to say? And it's just so fucking cute. I love it. And so I have video evidence. I'm not going to share it because Kyle wants me to keep it private, but let me tell you, it is the cutest thing of my entire life. I'm so, so, so grateful I have that. Like, he started crying. I started crying. You know, he said all these amazing things. He asked me to marry him. Obviously, I said yes. And then it was so incredibly sweet. Kristen, our friend's girlfriend who was there, and this is the first time we are meeting her, mind you, the first time. She did so many sweet things. She brought me a bride to be sash, and she brought me a koozie that said bride on it. And she just like did all these super kind things. And she brought us like, they brought champagne and then sparkling cider for me because I'm sober. And they brought like little desserts to celebrate. And like we had a nice campfire meal that was like really good. And honestly, like, I know this may not be everyone's dream proposal, but it was my dream proposal. Something intimate, something that was very us. Like, we love being outside. We love going into the woods. Like, nature is my happy place, as I've said on here a million times. So I just love that he did something so true to us, like so true to us. And honestly, it's so weird to say fiance. That is weird to me. I'm like, I mean, I love it, but it's fucking wild. I'm like, what do you mean, fiance? I keep looking at my hand. I'm like, why is there a ring on my finger? Because I'm not like a massive jewelry person. Like, I have this necklace that I wear a lot in the episodes, but I don't wear a lot of rings. Now, of course, I will be wearing this ring, and I've been very excited and anxiously waiting for this ring, but I'm not like someone that has multiple rings, right? So it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a big change. And I got so emotional for so many reasons. One, because Kyle, I say this all the time on the podcast, but he makes me feel so loved and so seen and so safe. And this is the first time I've felt that in my life ever. So, this is the message to not fucking settle. I've been in serious relationships before that my dumbass thought would lead to this step. They did not. And I'm glad they didn't. They didn't for a fucking reason, right? Just like Kyle's been married before. Like, we both have a past. And I am just so grateful that we both had those past experiences that ended up bringing us together and like helped our relationship be even stronger than what it like maybe would have been, because honestly, like, I used to settle so much, and this is your sign that your person is out there for you. Like, I joke all the time that I manifested him. He jokes that he manifested me. And like, I really think I manifested this proposal. So I'm a non-specific manifester in human design. And when people ask me like, "Oh, what do you want for a proposal?" I really struggled to like visualize it. I'm like, "I don't know. I just know I want this, this and this. I want it to be this or this or this." And even with the wedding planning that has already started, which is fucking crazy. I'm trying to just settle and breathe and take it in and just like chill the fuck out, but that's like not really me as a person. So of course, like, I've already been thinking about the wedding. Um but I struggle to know what I want. I just know I want to feel certain ways. And the thing is, like, Kyle and his friends made me feel so fucking loved and so special. And you know what? Like, I feel like I'm the person that does that for other people. I'm not the person that has that done for me. And the fact that he went out of his way and went out of his comfort zone to do that for me just shows me how much he loves me, how much he cares for me. And like, some people would be like, that's the bare fucking minimum. I don't know, maybe, but like, it just meant a lot to me. Like, he did an amazing job. I got so emotional because I don't know, I just, to be honest with you guys, and this is my trauma speaking, I never thought this day would come for me. I wanted it so bad, but I have seen myself as unlovable for so fucking long that I could not imagine marrying someone or having a family with someone. Like, even though it's something I've wanted for a very long time, I never thought that someone would like see me in that way or love me that much or want to be with me that much or that I would be worth it, because marriage is not small. I mean, it's not all fucking rainbows and butterflies. It is a legal fucking contract. And yes, people get divorced, but it's not a small thing to get divorced, you know? And obviously that's not what we're going for. But like, Kyle's been divorced, right? Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, I don't take it lightly. And I don't take it lightly that because of his past, this was extra big for him. It is extra, it's not a small thing that he did this step and he took this step, because I know he wouldn't have done it unless he was 110% certain that it's what he wanted. I know his past. I'm not going to like share it all in here, but like, I know that he would not have proposed to me if he was not all in. And being with someone that cares about you that much and that wants you to be their family, and like, we already say that we're family, but it just meant so fucking much to me that he put in all that effort, that he did all that planning, and it meant so much to me that his friends did so much to make it such a special, beautiful day. I thank them like a million times. Because again, like, I'm not that person that is made to feel special that often, and it just, God, it felt amazing, and I am so fucking grateful, and I'm just gushing at this point. So I'm just really excited. So, what are a couple things I've learned from like the engagement process, from the anticipation to engagement. Because let me tell you, the last like 12 to 6 months where I was confident we were going to get engaged, I really was. I was to the point where I was not doubting that the engagement would happen. I just didn't know when. And that was like very hard for me as a planner. So, my first thing is I really think it's really cool when the proposal reflects who you are as a couple. So, for us, getting engaged in the middle of the woods is like makes total sense, is perfect. Like, that makes sense. Like, it's our happy place, it's what we both love. Like, I just loved that, you know? And I said this earlier, but my second thing I've learned is I really believe it in the when you know, you know. Okay. I really, really, really believe that when you know, you know. And I just do with Kyle. Like, it was the easiest yes yet. And even when, I was kind of like waiting for the ring, right? Like, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know when. I never doubted like us as a couple. I never doubted us and like our level of commitment and devotion. Like, I've not doubted that, but now of course it's just on another level since this engagement. And I will say, to me, it is different. It is different since. Like, it feels more committed, it feels more serious, and I'm just like so grateful for that. Now, the third thing I learned, and this is hard, but I really believe it, and I'll tell you why. It's going to happen when it's meant to. Like, don't rush the process. Like, yes, of course, I wish I'd been engaged a fucking year ago, but no, like, I'm grateful. We've been dating just under 2.5 years. And I really believe it will happen when it's meant to happen. And here's a couple examples of why. One, I just like am in a much better place mentally. Um, I've shared with you guys on here how I've been having some family struggles over the past couple years. And like right now, we're at a pretty good neutral point. So it meant a lot to me that, I could call everyone, call my parents, all sets of parents, call everyone and just feel good about talking to them about it. Felt good sharing the news, not being scared to make that phone call, not like dreading that phone call, like being excited to make those phone calls, like really meant a lot to me. So I'm glad it happened like when we were at that point, right? Just like, okay, so I don't know if I've shared this. I think Kyle has shared this on the podcast. I don't remember 100%, but we both are big believers in like the universe. And he has a couple universal signs that are very important to him. For him, it's a dime. And for him, a dime is his grandfather who passed away, his papa who passed, kind of giving him like a wink or a nod or confirmation or whatever. Like, he has asked for signs from his grandpa multiple times. And he told me after the fact that he had asked for his grandpa's like opinion or for like a sign on if he should 3 separate times, and every single time he asked, he got a dime. Every single fucking time. And that made me so emotional when I heard that, because I'm like, that is just confirmation. Like, I truly believe that is confirmation. And like, it's not like he just finds it in his wallet. Like, he will find these dimes in the most random fucking places all the time. Like, one, not for this scenario, but in another scenario, he found one like in a paperclip jar. Like, what? Like, why in the middle of a paperclip jar was there a dime? I don't know, but there was, right? And so he has done this multiple times over the years, multiple times since I've known him. And it's not small. And actually, going back to the first time that we went and looked at rings, when we went to lunch after, we just got like a quick lunch, but in the parking lot on the way in, we saw a dime. Like, I just happened to look down. I was like, oh my God, that's a dime. And I had joked with him. I'm like, see, Papa approves. So then when he asked his grandpa about 3 years later, like, or 3 years, what? About a year later, he's like, please give me a sign. Like, is this the right thing? Is this the right decision? And every single time, the fact that he got like the yes sign from his grandpa, like, I so appreciate. Thank you, Papa, for having my back. I appreciate you. But that means a lot to me. And like I said at the very beginning of the episode, for me, 11/11/2023 is not a small date. I have a lot of significance with that date. It's a big manifestation date. It's just a really important date for me in my calendar. And the fact that such a beautiful and amazing life event happened on that date means the world to me. And the fact that he was like, I honestly did not even think about that. Like, that was not on my radar at all. I'm happy that it happened that way, but like, I was not thinking about that. It's just so fucking funny to me. Like, I think that's hilarious and I kind of love it. So it will happen when it's meant to. Another tip, I'm just going to add a fourth one in here that I didn't think of until now, but I really believe that this happens when you start to truly love yourself. I think that you are able to manifest the desires of your heart when you truly believe that you deserve them. And I'd gotten to a point in our relationship where, not saying I was like, I deserve a ring, but I was like, no, no, I am confident in our relationship. I am confident that we are good for each other, if not great for each other, right? Like, I am confident in us. I am confident that he loves me and that I love him and that this is a good thing. This is a positive thing. I'm very confident in that fact, right? And I don't think that's a small thing. I think you mentally being in a place where you can accept that love, accept the beautiful things coming your way. So now I just got to manifest a wedding, because let me tell you, I'm already stressed about it. Um, but it's just, I am so lucky. I'm so grateful. I mean, I got my dream ring, my dream man, a dream proposal. And I really think a lot of it is because I have for years desired this. I have always wanted this, and my life looking this way is almost like unimaginable to me. Like, I have a job I love, I have a fiance that I love, I have amazing friends. I'm just so fucking lucky. But I also worked really hard for this, and this was a mindset thing, and I really had to believe that I was worthy for it. And there are some days I still struggle to feel worthy, but I feel so loved. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for Kyle. I'm so grateful for our friends and our family who are just so excited for us. And I'm just, yeah, I mean, I'm just in this bubble of like, holy shit, I'm engaged. Like, that's crazy. So, I hope that you guys take from this, especially if you're in the process of like maybe getting engaged. Um, really just remember that you are worthy and you are deserving, and the right person will do it in the way that is perfectly meant for you guys. And I really think when you know, you know. If it's not a hell yes, it is a hell fucking no. And for me, it was the easiest yes I've ever said. Like, I did not even have to think twice. I was like, fuck yeah, put that ring on my fucking finger. Let's go. So I was stoked, obviously. I will take all the wedding planning tips possible. I feel like we're probably going to have a smaller wedding because I don't know, I have a small circle. And also, I just don't really want to invite everyone I've ever met, right? Like, I think I want it to be intimate. I want it to be really intentional. And so, I'm just trying to manifest currently a beautiful venue, a amazing photographer. I have a couple of ideas for photographer, but like, we might do destination, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use the photographer I was hoping. But a beautiful location that doesn't break the bank, because let me tell you, the wedding industry has gotten insane. I'm sure we could talk about this at another time, but that already stresses me out. And the fact that like our families live on opposite sides of the country has me leaning towards like a neutral location that's not Arizona and not Michigan, because then no one will feel favored. But I don't know, we will see. I'm just kind of talking out of my ass right now, because what the fuck do I know? The one thing that I know is like, I think we want to do 2024 if possible. But when I say the wedding industry is crazy, like, a lot of places are already completely booked for next year, which is kind of insane to me. Like, it's no longer the 6 months out. You need like a year plus, which is just wild. So that's my big news. It's huge. I cannot believe that I mean, I can believe it happened, but I'm still on cloud nine. So, y'all, I'm just so grateful for you guys. Thank you guys so, 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 so much for listening, for being a part of this experience with me, for taking the time to hear about my special day. It just means the world to me. And here's to just continuing to grow the podcast. I have taken on some new resources, and I'm really excited to continue growing. But now let's actually, I almost forgot, guys. That is how like out of it I am. Let's see what the chakra cards have to say this week. Okay, y'all, I love that we pulled this card. We got the soul healing card, which is connected to the soul star chakra, which is above the crown chakra. If you have a clear quartz crystal, I recommend working with that to help with the chakra. But this card is essentially saying that you have deep soul healing at hand. Your soul is the all-powerful consciousness of your being, and it is undergoing a healing process. So this awakening, we've been talking the last couple weeks, we've gotten cards about awakenings and rebirths. Okay. So this awakening can stir things up in your life and it can create change that you need to expand to a higher level of consciousness. So just know that whatever changes you're going through right now are probably healing your soul. And maybe it's hard. You need to remember to let go of things that are meant to be let go so you can make room for the new. I mean, for myself, when I pulled this card, I was like, holy shit, that makes sense. Like this whole experience has been so healing for my soul. So to me, it makes sense. And the affirmation we have this week is I am open to receive deep soul healing now and embrace the support of pure love to guide my healing journey. So know that the process that you are currently going under is a powerful injection of positive light from your soul, but you are undergoing a rite of passage right now. And this, where things are not working in your life, those need to be let go. Those need to be re-examined. Is something I'm doing not working? Is there something else I could be doing better? And you are just being asked to trust and to listen. So like, for example, with me, I'm like already stressed about planning a wedding and I need to just trust that the perfect venue on the perfect date in the perfect place will become available, will be in budget. Okay, that's what I'm fucking manifesting right now. So soul healing allows for healing on all levels of your being. That can be emotional, that can be physical, that can be spiritual, that can be mental. So just know that you might have cleansing on all different levels. So you might have a physical cleansing, you might have an emotional cleansing, or a spiritual cleansing. So again, if you have a clear crystal quartz, I highly recommend working with that. But just know your soul is such a powerful part of your being and it is going through a deep healing process right now. So maybe take some time to reflect, where am I seeing that show up in my life? What can I do? I highly recommend meditation. I highly recommend listening to frequencies that are specifically for either the crown chakra or the soul star chakra. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast episode. I know that it was kind of all over the place. I'm so sorry that my brain is so scattered, but thank you guys so much for being here. One last look at the ring. Look at that beaut. She's stunning. She's fucking stunning. Anywho, I'm so grateful for y'all. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing in this joy with me. I already know y'all are happy for me, and I love that because we have built such an amazing community. So thank you guys for being a part of this community, and I'm sure you will hear about wedding planning as the time goes on. Sorry in advance, but also not sorry because that's my fucking life. I'm sure we will learn many a lesson along the way, but for real, if you guys have any tips, any tricks, please let me know. Please, I will take all the advice that I can get. And I'm so grateful for you guys. So just know, if you're in a stage of life, or maybe you're like, I'm nowhere near engagement, like, what the fuck? I don't even have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner or whatever. Like, I don't even know where to start. I would start with believing that you are deserving and you are worthy of a beautiful love story. I really think every single person is. I think everyone has their person out there, whether it takes 20 years to meet them, 40 years to meet them, 50 years to meet them. I think everyone is worth it. And I just really want you to know that no matter what phase of life you're in, maybe you're already married, just I really am so grateful for my partner. I'm so grateful for Kyle, and I just can't wait to grow with him and go through life together, like as a team. So I'm just really grateful for that. I cannot wait to just share this new part of my life and to see all the beautiful things that it brings. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Do not forget to stay empowered. I cannot wait to talk to y'all next week. So I will see you then. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of our Get Empowered community. Don't forget to check the show notes for the resources I shared in today's episode, and of course to connect with me on social. You can find all of our offers and community links at empoweredwitherica.com. I always love hearing from you, so don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tag me with your biggest takeaways from today's episode. Let me know what you loved and what you want to hear more about, and share it with someone who you think would love it too. I cannot wait to share more with you. I'll see you next week, and don't forget to stay empowered.